We are playing Tactical Escalation today. Again, pretty much play from the Maelstrom missions. We find out the best ones. So this is the one where turn 1, 1 objective, turn 2, 2 objectives, and there's a pattern emerging there, so you can see how that goes. And we're playing Vanguard Strike, so it's corner to corner, so we've yet to roll off which sides we're deploying yet. We're just going to go on a tour of the objectives. We're going to see which are the most strategic locations in this battlefield. So instantly we've got one down in the ammo dump there, so there's objective 1. There's another just outside of that manufacturing building there, right next to the doorway. There's another one just here in front of this building. So quite a lot to fight over in this open area. A lot to fight about with that Eagle building, with this macro cannon. Both sides clearly want some of that. There's another one inside of this cathedral looking building on the platform there. There's another one on the very top, so you have to get your grappling hooks out to get up there, I think. So both sides will be scrambling for that one. And then the last one is on that building, just on the lip, where a priest might do some ceremonies. $2,500 points of Dart Angels. So we came back to home because Dart Angels is a special place in my heart. They are the army for me. So we've got the Lion's Blade Strike Force. So we've got Battle Demi Company, and it is 3 squads, full units of tacticals. I've got this squad, Heavy Bolter and Plasma Gun. They have a dedicated Rhino with the Dozer Blade. We've got the second squad, no Heavy Bolter, just the Plasma Gun, and they have a dedicated Rhino with the Dozer Blade. Third squad, there's a Melter Gun and a Combi Melter Sergeant, and they have a Drop Pod. All the sergeants are veteran sergeants and all have a Melter Bomb. We've got a Dreadnought in the Demi Company, he's got a Heavy Flamer and the Twin Link Las Cannon. And we've got the Devastator squad, 3 plasma cannons, again a veteran sergeant, and we've got the assault unit. There's 2 flamers, veteran sergeant with a melter bomb, and they have a dedicated Razorback with a Dozer Blade. And leading the battle Demi Company, we've got the chaplain, just a regular chaplain. He is on a bike, and he's going to be accompanied by 2 formations of Ravenwing support squadrons. So we've got the first squadron here. These are auxiliary choices for the Lion's Blade Strike Force. So the first support squadron, this is a melter orientated squad, so we've got 1 melter gun, 1 attack bike with a multi-melter, we've got a veteran sergeant with a melter bomb, and then the attached land speeder Typhoon. And the second squad is more plasma-y, again a veteran sergeant. He's got a lightning claw, looks like a sword but it's a claw, because he doesn't have a pistol or a close combat weapon. So if you're going to pay 15 points, might as well be a lightning claw. A plasma gun to go with him, and a land speeder Vengeance. So this is much better than it used to be, so I'm very happy to have this in the army. And then the big boys at the back, we've got 2 knights, we've got a Crusader and a Errant. So no carapace mounted missile launchers or the Skyfire autocannon, that's not happening. They just got the arms for the guns. So we've got the Avenger cannon, battle cannon, and of course the thermal cannon. So they should be holding strong. So I'm probably going to combat squad all of the tactical marines, and more than likely we'll be outflanking the Ravenwing to try and get behind those nasty Eldar. And the chaplain's already rolled for his Warlord trait. He has rolled off the strategic traits, and he's got Divide to Conquer, so the Eldar will suffer a -1 to their reserve roll. It is always worth noting that he has an Auspex as well, and that's the only upgrade he's got. So the theme is, coming from the side, he's probably going to attach himself to the Melter squad. He drops the cover down by 1, and then the Melters will be able to clean up any tank, or maybe they might use the bolters on any Guardian squads and ruins or whatnot. So the tactics are there, that's why I like the Dart Angels, there's plenty you can do with them. Right, what we've got here is Craftworld Warhost. I'll be announcing it because the Eldar player's got a bit of a sore throat today. So we've got the Craftworld Warhost, and in that we've got the Guardian host. So it's going to have Eldrad leading the force, and there's another Farseer with him, the second in command. So Eldrad will be heroes of the Craftworlds, that's where he's coming in, and then leading the Guardian hosts will be the Farseer. So in the Guardian hosts you've got to have 3 units of Guardians. So there's 2 with Bright Lancers, there's 1 with the Eldar Missile Launcher. The Eldar Missile Launcher will be going around in a Wave Serpent with a Shuriken Cannon, and that's got the upgrade for move through cover, and it's got Hollow Field. And then in the same formation we've got the 2 Vipers, and they've got the Shuriken Cannons and Star Cannons. And then again in that same formation there's 2 Warwalkers with the Scatter Lasers, and there's the Vol's Wrath batteries. These have got the Night Spinners, and we've got the Guardian, not Guardian, it's a Aspect Host, sorry. So we've got 3 units in there. There's a full 10-man unit of Dire Avengers with the Dire Sword, and we've got 6 Scorpions with the Scorpion Claw, 6 Banshees with the Executioner, and they're going to be escorted by the Avatar of Kane. So the Aspects are going to have a +1 to their ballistic skill, and the Guardians, not the Guardians, can't call them Guardians, the Dire Avengers, they're going to go around in the Wave Serpent, so it's exactly the same as the other Wave Serpent. We've got a unit of Rangers, Wraith Knight, everyone's favourite. He's got 2 Scatter Lasers on his shoulders, and he's carrying the D cannons today, the heavy D cannons. And we've got a Wraith Lord with 2 Flamers, Ghost Sword and Bright Lance, and a Fire Prism with Hollow Fields, and again the move through cover upgrade, Ghost Walk Matrix I think it's called. So that is the force, and both Farseers have rolled on the Runes of Fate, so a lot of Eldar trickery to be expected. Okay, both sides have reached the battlefield, and it's Dart Angels who arrive first, so they do set up first. And of course we'll get this corner to set up in, this is what we've rolled for. So we haven't got the lion's share of the objectives, but we could have some. So we've got a tactical squad broke down into combat squad on this objective, and we have the other combat squad with the heavy bolter in this building here. No objective for them, but they're in a good spot to shoot down the street. We've got the Knight Errant, as you see there, 2 support vehicles in the centre. Both have 5-man squads in. This one's the assault team, remember, with the 2 flamers. They're going to look to engage this building, try and use the flamers to the best to their advantage. Ignore some cover with that. And we've got the Knight Crusader. He's going to march down this street and take on all comers. And the Devastator squad with the 3 plasma cannons, they occupy the Manufactorum, bolstered by the Dart Angels Dreadnought in this building. And then we've got the Dart Angels Land Speeder Vengeance. He is taking cover behind this building. I've actually forgot to scout him, but I don't know if I will. In fact, I think I'll just leave him there. But the Eldar, they've done their infiltrations and scout manoeuvres already. And Guardian squad here, this one contains the second in command Farseer. We've got the Wave Serpent with the Dire Avengers in right at the backfield, ready to take on any Ravenwing are coming from outflank. The Wraith Lord, he was offered a scout manoeuvre from Eldrad's Warlord trait, so he's went forward 6. And Wave Serpent again with Guardians in. We've got the Vol's battery taking cover, holding that objective in all of the ammo crates. Banshees in the centre. Then we've got Eldar with this Guardian squad in this building, supported by a fire prism, so really good field of fire for the fire prism there. And we've got the Avatar on this flank, and supported by the Wraith Knight. And then two other units. The Avatar was a scouted unit as well, that's how he's far forward. And the Walker's scattered forward, it's a very scouty force it seems. And the Vipers were offered the scout manoeuvre as well, so they're up in that building. So total domination in that corner, the Eldar have pushed forward quite a lot. And then we've got infiltrators for the Eldar, we've got a group of striking scorpions down there. And then the Rangers just here, so they're going to probably tackle this unit with the heavy bolter as time goes on. So Dart Angels should have the first turn, but we still have yet to roll to steal the initiative. So do the Eldar steal the initiative? Here we go. No, it's a 3. I think that's because he used a green dice, and that's a Dart Angels colour. So Dart Angels will get the first turn. Dart Angels turn 1. Sons of the Lion are going to try and bring the fight straight to the Eldar. So the drop pod comes down from orbit, lands right in the Eldar's deployment zone. So we've captured this objective. The Melter, Combi Melter squad gets out and is going to try a shot at the back of this Wave Serpent. It's the usual stuff you'd expect from a drop pod. And then the other combat squad gets a 6-inch move through cover and gets on this side of the wall. So plan is to just do a bit of damage and disrupt the Eldar's lines here straight away with that drop pod. And the view from the Dart Angels deployment is relatively the same. The two vehicles go forward. The assault squad chooses to stay in this Razorback. We're going to fire through the ruin at the Avatar with pretty much everything in this corner. This Rhino goes forward, the squad gets out and up into cover. Got plasma gun, we're going to try and target at the Avatar. The plasma battery on the Vengeance land speeder is going to fire through at the Avatar as well. We've got this Knight, he's going to fire through the windows. His thermal cannon at this collection of Eldar vehicles, so we will have a decent cover save, but we might be able to come away with something there to strength 9 large blast melter. It's a very very powerful weapon. And the Devastator squad on this building stays put. Again, they've got a lot of plasma blasts. Might target that cluster of vehicles there. And the Dreadnought just shuffles a bit. He's going to get a view out of the doorway at whatever's on offer. I'm going to open up with the combat squad with the two melter guns at the back of this Wave Serpent. Eldar will jinx, so hitting on 3s. Oh, look at that, 2 misses. We're going to throw a crack grenade, and that misses. And then we've got 2 rapid fire bolt guns. 2 hits, needing 6s. Not 1, so that was a bit of a surprise, but it is jinking. Right, this combat squad, hopefully they've got better luck. They're going to try and target these Banshees, and we've positioned ourselves so the Exarch will have to do some extreme lookout sirs. Okay, not that great from the bolters, and the drop pod fired as well. Just 1 Banshee, but we did get the Exarch in the end, so just 2 Banshees dead in total. No morale check because they're within 12 of the Avatar, so it makes them fearless. So we're hoping we'll get first blood from that, but we're going to cough that up ourselves. I think those Dart Angel squads are swinging out in the wind there. The Knight Errant is next up to fire. What we've done is we've targeted these vehicles stacked up in this building. We try to place it just there, but it's scattered 5 inches, so we're only getting 1 of each vehicle. So the Eldar, I wish they didn't do that now. They overlooked the fact that blast templates hit on all levels these days. Sometimes, because we've been playing this game for so long, you get the additions the wrong way around. But that's what's happening. The Eldar are cringing on this one. So it's the Viper. 1 is a glance, so that's a pen, and then the Walker, 1 is a glance. So both pens, double 6. So they've both got a cover save of 4. So the Viper. Okay, that's a cocked die. Right, Viper saves, and the Walker doesn't save. Right, so this is AP1 and it's open top, so we're going to +3 to this dice roll. Okay, so that's a 5, so a weapon is blown off the Walker. So obviously that's a scatter laser. Okay, we'll fire the stubber and no damage either, so they came away quite lucky there, only losing a weapon. We've got many more blasts to do. We've got the plasma cannons here, all 3 of them, and then failing that we might do the battle cannon from this. So we're going to resolve the plasma cannons. Same situation, we'll see how this one turns out. Right, so the plasma cannons almost have the wicked way with these 2 squadrons. They do get direct hits just about. A lot of hits come through, but a really strong saving from the Eldar there. So they've just lost a vehicle out of each squadron. They really cringed all the way through that, but I think they've came through quite okay. That's what happens when you overlook the rules. I thought it was just barrage coming in from the top, that you could hit all levels and things like bombs, but overlooked the fact that just any blast can hit them. So that's why that was a little bit ruthless for anyone thinking that was a dangerous thing to do. But the Eldar will learn the lesson from that. Everyone from this section of the battlefield, all plasmas and even a heavy bolter on high there, fires at the Avatar and puts 3 wounds on him. So he's only got 2 left. And unfortunately the plasma cannon rapid fired from this building killed himself, but he was one of the people who achieved a wound, so we can forgive him even though he's dead. So he's got 2 wounds left, so what we're going to do is we'll fire the Avenger Gatling cannon through the window at the Avatar and see if we can strip those last couple of wounds off, and we'll fire the stubbers at the War Walker. Achieved another hull point. Now we've got the battle cannon, and he'll probably target, well, he'll be targeting the same unit, so blasts in that building again. So we've got the Avenger Gatling cannon, a whopping 12 shots to come through that small window at the Avatar, you can just see there. So hitting on 3s. Okay, that's really good shooting from the Knight this time. It's a really strong start for the Dark Angels here, regardless if this Avatar goes down. Right, so it's strength 6 from the Avenger cannon and the Avatar's toughness 6, so 4's to wound, so there's a healthy amount. So these are AP3, so the Avatar will be saving on a 4 through that window, so 6 wounds to save. Oh, there's the 2 crucial ones. So the Avatar goes down, that's first blood, and that is crucial stuff. It means the Banshees will have to take a morale check at the end of the shooting phase. Right, crippling start for the Eldar. We've still got the battle cannon to shoot at these 2 units here. Right, so with the Ratify battle cannon, we actually chose the Wraith Lord as the target. So he took a wound from the battle cannon. 1 battle cannon shot flew right over onto the Wave Serpent, but saved. The Dreadnought with his twin link last cannon through the window at the War Walker, but saved again. So really good strong saves from the Eldar, even though that was as punishing turn as you'll see from the Dark Angels, I think. So they've came through with flying colours. The Eldar, they've lost a key unit or 2, and these Howling Banshees are going to have to do a morale test, but they can re-roll it with their formation, so they've got a good chance of hanging around. But picking up first blood was crucial for the Dark Angels there, and unfortunately for the first card that we took for the turn was domination, so we're going to have to discard that, because in any game that's pretty unachievable, as you'll probably know yourself. So it's under Eldar now. They're going to see if they can retaliate just as strong as they took it in the first turn there. Okay, now that the Avatar is out of the picture, the Howling Banshees, they had to pass the morale, and did with the reroll, so they needed that reroll thanks to their formation. But now everyone is closing in on this unit of Dark Angels, so they should not be there next turn. There's a lot of firepower to come onto them, and the Dire Avengers, they get out of the way serpent, and we've included the run move here, so they've gotten good firing positions. They're going to dispatch that combat squad of Dark Angels, and the Wave Serpent comes out of cover. There's no reason for any dangerous terrain tests for all the vehicles, because they've got the Ghost Walk Matrix, so they've got moved through cover. So the Knight, with the Avatar Bodyguard dispatched now, doesn't want to get too close because he can be assaulted from this Knight with the D weapon. So what he's going to do is he's going to try and stay at the best range he can. He doesn't want to totally drop back, but he's going to stay at the best range he can and use his D weapons at range. This Wraith Knight steps forward, Wraith Lord even, it's not Wraith Knight, Wraith Lord, he comes forward 6. He's going to look to get the grips with something in this area. I think his best bet is probably going to be the Devastator squad. I don't think he'll be able to take on the Knight. And the top Viper's jinking, so that can't go anywhere really. And this Warwalker, he's got some targets. He can either fire at the Devastators or possibly this unit here. And of course this unit is under threat immediately from the Scorpions. They're on the way out of the doorway, and they're going to have firepower support from the Rangers. So this squad are on borrowed time. They're going to have the work cut out for them to take on those Scorpions. So it's on the Eldar shooting phase. If the Wraith Knight can get some D hits on these Knights, it could change the tide of the battle early. Right, so the Eldar are going to kick off proceedings with a guided Wraith Knight. So we couldn't deny the witch on that one, so he's going to have twin link weaponry. So 2 D weapons coming in on this Knight here. Ion shields on the front, so he gets 1 hit. You can re-roll that one though. So 2 hits. Double 6, we'll hope that doesn't occur again. Alright, so there's 2 solid D hits, not the ones to go through the armour. So 2 4s. And we're going to need to save these on our own 4s. So ion shields come to the rescue. So 1 gets through. What is the damage there? So it's D3 hull points to lose. So 2 hull points go, and then see if you can achieve an explode result. No explode result. So just 1 hull point on the Wraith, from the Wraith Knight onto the Imperial Knight. So very nervous rolls there. Alright, the scatter lasers on top, they fire at the Rivenwing Vengeance Speeder. So there's 2 glances and a penetration to save. We did want to jinx so we can try and re-roll these. So 2 glances, so we'll get to re-roll this 1. Right, so 1 glance gets through, and the pen, see if we can save this, and we do. So just 1 glance, minimal damage from the output from the Wraith Knight there. You probably wished you did a little bit better, but that was very nervous times. So again, from the damaged Warwalker, fires through with the scatter lasers, double scatter laser. It's almost the same story again. 2 glances on the land speeder Vengeance, both saved, and then we've got 2 pens as well to try and deal with, and they're dealt with as well. Wow. Right, Eldar replying in devastating fashion. The guided battery from this Farseer over here puts guide on these fire the monofilament weapons straight in at the top here against these Devastators. So 2 direct hits and a bit of a scatter leaves us with 12 wounds. No, 12 wounds, but no,
6 with 6.
Let's do this again. 12 hits, 10 wounds. 5 of them were monofilament. But we are going to go to ground, and the target is right on the Devastator, so we're going to start losing plasma cannons as soon as we start losing people. So we went to ground, so all these are going to be saving on 3, so this is going to be absolutely horrendous. Well, not too bad, we've lost 3, so it's definitely going to be a plasma cannon, and we're going to see who's the closest to the centre of that block. So the blast coming in from the top kills the Devastator, and we've taken 2 Marines from here as well, because they were equidistant to all the Marines here, so we've been able to take not the heavy weapons. So we've lost 1 plasma cannon, we have went to ground, so it's silenced that unit for a full turn. Right, the Eldar forces have put all the shooting in that they can now. The Wraith Knight does what he does best and misses. He does that for me too. And this Jinkin Wave Serpent that fails to achieve a hit. This Bright Lance fired at the Knight missed again. It's not going too well for the Bright Lances in the Eldar, but total wipeout for all of the drop pod and forces. The squad that was here, one sole survivor with a melter gun, and then it was finished off by the Wraith Serpent, so the Dire Avengers did their job. And then there was a unit in here, if you remember. They'd got absolutely hammered by all the shuriken weapons, and then the Banshees have just ran into this building just now. So everything pretty much fired. Else fired at the land speeder. All the Jinkin shots didn't get a hit with the Viper, and then the last thing that happened was the Scorpions fire up at this unit here, kill one Dart Angel, and these got a precision shot on the heavy bolter, but he saves. So they're trying to snipe out that heavy bolter, but now they've got the hands full with the Scorpions. So the final roll of the dice for the Eldar here is this devastated squad lost 3 men, so it's going to force us into a morale check, and we're very close to the edge of the board, so we don't want any failures here. So I have got a veteran sergeant looking after the devastators, and pass on an 8, so very well done. So they're going to hang on. So no victory points for the Eldar there. They pulled a dud card. Well, it's not as dud as domination. They have to destroy a building. I've forgotten, demolitions, that's what it's called. They can do it. There is a building here. This is classed as building, armor 12, 4 hull points, and so is this one. So there are opportunities to score that one if they can. So it's on to Dart Angel's turn 2 now. It's a bit of a bloodbath, this one. Dart Angel's turn 2 now. Reserves don't really show up. The bikes are not present yet, but this Rhino did come on from reserve, so we've brought it on from the table edge, passed its dangerous terrain test, pulls a skid, and we're going to fire a rapid-fire plasma gun out the top at the Wraith Lord. And the second reserve came on. It was the land speeder, passed its dangerous terrain test, so that is going to target anything from that window there. So we've got some options, but the bikes are not present yet. All the units in this area have dispersed, so the land speeder Vengeance has dropped back, still in range to get some snapfire shots off at the Viper, so we're going to return fire. And the Rhino moves on, passes dangerous terrain, as does every vehicle. Didn't fail one, that's the moral of the story. And then this Razorback bursts through the wall. Going to get some heavy bolter shots off. And this Knight has stepped around a full 12. We're going to make our way down the street, closing the distance to the Wraith Knight. It's our only chance we're going to get to really close in with our D weapon, so we'll try and take that opportunity. And this Dart Angel squad moves up a level to the top here, so we're holding that objective now. Right, the first target goes down, nice and politely, as he does in most games. He's got a storied history of dying in every game. The Wraith Lord has dropped down dead. So 2 plasma shots and a las cannon shot from the Dreadnought was enough to see him go. So he is now out of our hair. And now it's time for the Knight to step up. He's going to fire 2 battle cannon shots at long range at all of these Dire Avengers. All these fresh Dire Avengers have just gotten out that Wave Serpent. So we're going to try and drop 2 shells on there. and we'll be firing the Avenger cannon at the Wraith Knight. Try and chip off a few wounds here and there. So he will go. This is going to be awful stuff. So directly amongst the centre of them, on his back leg. So the first shot from the battle cannon. Oh, it's going to scatter a little bit. That's going to go 8 inches. Okay, that actually scatters 5 inches. It's a complete miss. Second shot. Oh, it's even worse. It's going to go another 6 inches down the board. We might get the Wave Serpent, but I don't know. Another wild scatter, but we do hit the Wave Serpent. He will have a 4+ cover save because of the crit. So let's see if we do any damage. Strength 8. 3 isn't good enough. So terrible performance from the battle cannons there. So the same knight from through the window has achieved 3 wounds on the Wraith Knight, 666, so he's going to save on 4s first. And 1 slips through, he's got feel no pain. Alright, he's going to take his very first wound because that's a failed feel no pain on a 4. So 1 wound down, and we're going to fire the thermal cannon at him next. And we've got a few stubbers to resolve from this knight actually first. But the thermal cannon on this knight should clip him as well. Right, this knight fires the stubber at this squad, no damage, but we have achieved a wound on the Wraith Knight with the thermal cannon, so he's going to have to save on his feel no pain. And he does, so he's still only got 1 wound down, but we are closing the distance there. So Dark Angels continue their shooting phase. It's been quite fruitful. This squad in the corner of this building fire long range bolter shots down at the Guardians and manage to actually kill the heavy weapons platform with the Bright Lance on it, so it's a really good kill for those Dark Angels. The heavy bolter from this Razorback fails to see off the Viper, but what does see off the Viper is the return and snapfire from the jinking Landspeeder Vengeance, so he gets his revenge. So that is blown up now, and the Warwalker finally meets his end to the Knight Stubbers. That's what got him in the end. And there's still a few units to do. We've got 2 rockets coming in from the Landspeeder onto this Wave Serpent. He has elected to jink. So this Landspeeder through the windows at this Wave Serpent. 1 hit, so it's strength 8. We're needing a 4 to glance. No, don't even force a save, but he is jinking. So that's lessened the firepower. Right, the last things in the Dark Angels phase have been completed. So this firepower was looking pretty menacing, but in the end only killed 1 Scorpion, so their might is still intact, so they're going to mount a charge next turn. And the final save was the drop pod got a bolter shot off at a Guardian and killed him, which forced a morale check, but they've already passed it. They did it straight away since it's the end of the phase. So they pass, and the Dark Angels are going to achieve 1 victory point for the drop pod hanging around in the Eldar's deployment zone, so that's behind enemy lines, so we've picked up another point there. So it's a brutal game, but the points are not coming in fast for any side. Just 2 points in total for the Dark Angels. The Eldar still yet to get a good hand, but it's early doors yet. The mission, of course, as the game goes on, you've got more opportunities to score, so it's a battle of attrition. Alright, the Eldar having to stay dynamic in the second turn. They've jumped back into the vehicle, have the Dire Avengers, so they are safe for now. They're not going to chance again with our battle cannon firing through. The battery that has guide placed on it again from this far seer, so they're going to put out some nasty shots again. And Eldrad able to guide this Wraith Knight. Hopefully he can put in a better turn than he did the last time. When he achieved one glance against him, but just got a feeling in me bones that he's going to get that destroyer hit that everyone fears. So the Fire Prism, he's turned his turret and he's going to be targeting him as well. So it's all hands to the Bright Lance triggers. We've got this Wave Serpent. It is chinking, but it is holding the objective. That's just on the other side of the wall. So that will be a point for Eldar regardless of what outcome, and he's going to try and get some snapfire at this Razorback. So the psychic phase has been achieved. To put all the dice that they could on the guide just so to get it off. So the guide for both units is on. So can to just get those important wound on these knights. Right, we're going to kick off proceedings with the Wraith Knight firing the 2D hits at the Imperial Knight. So he's hitting on 3s and the twin linked because of guide. So just one hit again, but he's going to re-roll. Oh, it's missed, so just one gets through. Of course we've got iron shields on the front, so we'll get a 4+ unless he rolls a 6. So there it is, the 6 on the Imperial Knight. He's completely out of there, nothing you can do against a 6 hit. It's just straight away 6 hull points, and that's only half of it. So he's only got 6 hull points in total, and he's only got already got 1 hull point, so he's definitely gone. And he's going to scatter 7 inches this way, so the big blast is going to come this way and hit absolutely nothing. So one of the Imperial Knights has fallen to one of those horrible D hits. So there we are, the Knight's final resting place. We mourn his loss. And now we've got the scatter lasers. They're going to target the unit here that's holding this objective, so they're going to have to hunker down, especially after seeing the demise of that knight. Right, so the scatter lasers from the knight, after the demolition job of the knight, find the target on this unit holding this objective, and 3 marines dead. So there's only this sergeant left, and he's going to have to hold his morale. We're going to have to see if these space marines really know no fear, because he's going to have to hold that all by himself now. So he's going to have to take morale check at the end of this turn with this shooting phase. If he's alive, there's still some more shots. Right, so this wave Serpent 4 goes shooting at this Razorback and opts to shoot the shooting cannon through the doorway right up at the poor old sergeant. He finally died, so that's not very nice of him at all. So he's died, and then the Scorpions have shot a marine here dead, so they're going to try and assault up a level, and there's only 3 marines left to carve through. Right, this side of the table for all of Eldar, they fire up the guns, so the artillery intends to drop onto the Devastators, and it scatters all the way back. They are guided, but they end up hitting the land speeder twice, but we do save, and we're still alive. And we've got 1 bright lance from this Guardian unit. Does not get the hit on the knight, but the Dire Avenger Wave Serpent does get a hit and a glance on the knight, so we're going to have to save this on a 4+ save on our ion shield on the front. No, so he takes his first hull point. Right, the Eldar are hoping to achieve some more damage now. The Fire Prism has moved its turret down to fire at the knight and achieves a penetrating hit, gets a hit and rolls a 6 to pen, so we're going to have to save this on the ion shield. No, that one gets through. So what's the damage? This is AP 1, I think, or it might be 2. So that's a 2. It's not going to be enough to make it explode regardless, so that's its 2nd hull point. So the Eldar are finding the targets this time. So the Eldar, for their final phase in turn 2, the Scorpions are going to try and assault in on the Dark Angels. Now they get their Grim Resolve rule, hey, so they're going to be able to overwatch on full ballistic skill. So we've still got a heavy bolter survivor and 2 bolt guns, so we're going to try and hose these down. So the Grim Resolve overwatch has been decided, got 5 hits but 5 saves, so nothing, absolutely nothing. So the Scorpions are going to charge in now, going to see what the charge range is, and it is a 6. They've got moved through cover, they don't suffer any penalties, that's going to be enough. So they're going to be in, and it's going to be so the Scorpions just quickly dispatch the Dark Angels and lose, well, don't even take a wound, don't even take a hit, they just dispatch everyone without question. So they are ready to do what they want in the next turn. Dark Angels turn 3, so the orders have come through the channel and they're looking good. We've got Recon for the Dark Angels, so that's already been scored, so we're definitely going to get a point for that, and Ascendancy, which we can achieve already even without killing anything of the Eldar, so the commands are coming through quite nicely. So the bolted defense here, we're going to try and take down some Scorpions, and they've got quite a distance of no man's land to cover before they can target their next squad, otherwise they're going to be isolated. And the Vengeance Landspeeder, it isn't chinking anymore, it's going to fire through the windows of this building all the way at the Wraith Knight. So this needs to be the turn that would do damage to the Wraith Knight, 'cause if he gets another 6, the Imperial Knight will probably succumb. Don't like those D weapons, so we're going to have to try and take him out. So the Knight himself is going to try and tangle with the Eldar Knight. There's a lot of Knights flying around, so he's going to try and avenge his twin brother. And we've got the Landspeeder and Dreadnought, they're going to join in fire. Got some plasma cannons, they're now back on their feet from being pinned, or going to ground rather. So they're back up and they're going to fire some plasma shots onto these Guardians and clear the way for this unit of there's 5 Dark Angels in here, one with a plasma gun. We're going to get some rapid fire shots onto these Guardians just here. And the drop pod still holding strong. Star unit. We're going to put some bolter shots on something. And this Razorback in this building moves through cover to the objective just there, and that's going to get us Ascendancy, so that's crucial. And then we'll fire our heavy bolter again through the window at the Wraith Knight. So it could go down. It'll be a long shot, it'll be hard. He is a tough nut to crack. Right, the Dark Angels have opened up this turn with some small arms fire. We'll be able to kill a Scorpion from this building over here thanks to the bolter defense of this objective. And then between the Devastator squad here, this Rhino, and firing out the hatch, and the 2 Stubbers from the Imperial Knight, we're able to halve the Guardians. They haven't went to ground either, so pretty good saves there. And also got a wild plasma cannon scatter and got a wound on an artillery piece, so they're still hanging in there. But the Guardians are going to have to take a morale check at the end of their phase. But we've saved the big guns now. We've got the Knight, he's going to fire onto the Eldar Knight. Right, the Knight opens fire with these Avenger Gatling cannon first, and actually achieves 2 wounds. Terrible hits, but really good for rends. So 2 wounds to save on Feel No Pain. Oh, gets them both, so he's still fresh. Right, some direct hits from the repeater, or rapid fire battle cannon as it's called, and just 1 wound, so he needs to save this on a Feel No Pain as well. Nope, that one does slip through, that was a 2. So we've got some las cannon, well, a las cannon shot from the Dreadnought, might as well do this now. So it's twin linked at the Knight. Oh, he's missed. He's hit. And strength 9 leaving a 3. There's another one, so you're going to need to save on the Feel No Pain, which he does. And we've got 2 rockets from the windows from the Landspeeder at him. 1 hit, just not great, so a 4. There is a wound, so saving on a Feel No Pain. No, so he's taken a 2nd. Right, the heavy bolter from the Landspeeder doesn't do any damage, but the heavy bolter from this Razorback does, so it needs an armor save. And save straight away, so nothing from him. And then finally we've got the Vengeance Landspeeder firing all the way through the buildings. This is a really long shot. Right, that was quick. The Vengeance Landspeeder fails to achieve any wounds from both of the plasma battery and the heavy bolter, so the Knight just comes away with only 2 wounds in that round. So he's taken 3 in total during the game, so he's got I think we're only halfway, so he's still surviving. If he gets another D hit on my Knight, on the Imperial Knight, then it's looking grim. Okay, we weren't able to hurt the Knight as much as we wanted to, but all is not lost. We did get Recon and Ascendancy, so we need a D3 for Ascendancy. See if we can take the game out of the Eldar's reach here. No, just 1, so we're not getting any luck with the dice this round, it seems. So 2 points, we'll take it, but it could have been better. Okay, and we're getting an extra one, because I forgot about this card. I played an extra turn. This is a secret Dark Angels one. If you don't fail a morale check, This was in my hand in turn 2, so I just chose one turn just to be on the safe side. So we do achieve that because we have not failed a morale check, so that's good news. So 3 points there. The points are coming in. It's what we need. Absolutely need. Right, the Eldar are going to try and pull this back for themselves. They need objective 1, which is where the drop pod is, so they've neglected it the whole game, and now they need to take it out. So they've got a few bright lances pointed at it to try and take it out. The Farseers, again, same thing as last time. They threw all the dice that they could each to get guide on their chosen vehicle. So this was guided by the Farseer in the distance, just in range. And Eldar joined the Banshees. There he is. He's going to have to move closer because that's not... well, it's his sword that's blocking him, isn't it? So, well, Eldar, he cast guide onto the Wraith Knight again. So he's going to fire through the building at the Imperial Knight. So, I mean, you can see through the fog. You can't see it. It's just not coming up there. But the logic is you can fire through cover. He's going to get a 4+ ion shield save anyway, so it's better for the Wraith Knight to get cover. And yeah, it's just all about shooting now for the Eldar. If they can take out that second knight, then it's pretty much no stopping them, I think. The Scorpions dive out onto this side of the wall. They're going to just buy their time. So Eldar onto their shooting phase. This is going to be nasty. Ion shields, please save this time. So iron shields on the front of the knight. He must save. Right, the Battle of the Knights commences. So we've got the 2D heavy Wraith cannons firing through. So again, twin linked, so hitting on 3s. Double hit this time. It's a double 6. Hopefully he's exhausted his 6s here. Alright, there's a 2 and a 3, so they are good hits on the knight. He's going to have to save both of these on 4s. Not one. The knight iron shield is just broken, so it just hasn't came into play once this game for him. So there's 2 D3 hits, so roll 2 sets of D3, 1 set of D, no, 2 D3s, that's what I'm trying to say. Right, so he's gone, so there's 4 in, no, it's 5 in total wounds there, and he's already taken 2. So he explodes and he's going to scatter. So this is the second knight's rest in place, and the blast doesn't hurt anybody. Luckily, you get no damage done. So there's the 2 knights out of the way. The Eldar are just going to have their way. So I'm not sure what the Ravenwing reserves might be able to do, but the Eldar are just having it all their own way now. Continuing the good trend for the Eldar this turn, the lasers from the knight's shoulders actually blew up the Ravenwing Vengeance. So that try to get it to reroll saves just wasn't good enough. Okay, the Eldar continue their path of destruction and make the drop bot explode from this bright lance here, so they're getting exactly what they want in their turn here. So they've freed up that objective to score it. So it's going well for the Eldar here. Alright, so the Eldar finally finished the killing spree, and this fire prism shoots at the building with the Devastators in. Luckily we do get a cover save for the building because it is obscured by another ruin. So that puts an end to the Eldar's turn, thankfully. It was just getting obscene, the amount of stuff blowing up. And the good news is for the Dark Angels is they only score 1 victory point. They were able to seize enough ground from the Eldar, but the Eldar finally making way. I think it's just going to be a matter of survival now for the Dark Angels. The Eldar are on the rise. The Dart Angels, turn 4, the orders again come down the pipe, and we need ones that we used to have basically. We need the one on top of this building, which isn't going to happen, and we'll want this one where the drop pod was. So the Razorbackers went on a brave mission out of the building. 12 dropped off the assault squad first to still claim this objective, and because we've got objective secured, we will steal that one back off the Eldar. And we need this one as well, which the Dreadnought has been sitting on all game. So there he is. I haven't forgotten about him. There he is. And the bikes have finally turned up because they have to. They didn't want to, but they're here now. It's failed every reserve roll, and here they are. So the chaplain, he'll put his Auspex onto these Guardians, and then hopefully the bolters will be able to finish them off. Failing that, we might be able to force a morale check, and that could be an extra point for us. The land speed that was living in this building moves through cover, passes its test, and is going to get some shots through this doorway at the Wraith Knight, so he's on his way. And then this bike squad, we've already turbo boosted them. Came on from this board edge, nothing really much they can do, so they've arrived here. So they're on their way. There's a plasma gun in there, they might be able to target something useful, but we've pretty much got control of all the objectives in this area. There's nothing really on offer, so they're going to have to get into the fight somewhere in the battle. So there's just shooting left to do, and we're going to see if we can do it. Okay, so the Ravenwing bikes, with the aid of the Auspex, drop the Guardians' cover save down by 1, and a few bolter shots come through and waste the Guardians down to 2 men left and the Farseer, so they're on borrowed time. And then the 2 plasma cannons from the Devastators firing through this window here do not get hot, so we're going to place them right on the centre of the Wraith Knight. So the Signum first is a direct hit, and the one without the Signum is going to scatter 4 inches. That's, dare we say, that could still get. 2 plasma cannons just about hit. The first one direct hit, and the second one just clips the toe, and we do get the Wave Serpent as well. So on the Wave Serpent, strength 7, no good. And on the Wraith Knight we need 5. Ah, look at that. 2 wounds. He's going to need to save on cover saves of 4. Failed 1, and now we've got Feel No Pain. Of course he gets it, so still fresh as a daisy. Alright, don't know why we're bothering, because he'll just save them. The land speeder is going to fire through the doorway at the Wraith Knight, so we've got 2 missiles, 2 hits, and needing that again if we don't mind. 4s. Not a thing. So we've got the heavy bolter, 2 hits, 6s, no. And then why not, we'll do Snapfire and heavy bolter from the Razorback at this. No, twin linked. 1, needing a 6 again. No, it's a 1. Okay, the last chance to come away with something. The Dreadnought's going to fire out of that doorway right in the far distance, through all the windows, right at the Wraith Knight. So it's a twin linked las cannon. Come on, son. Hits. Wounds. Right, so you've got to save on a 4. No, Feel No Pain. No, right, we do come away with something. He's taking a wound, so he's got 2 left. Well, that was hard work. So it's another similar outcome for the Dart Angels in this turn. So what we can't do in the shooting phase, we certainly can do with victory points. So we've got secure objective 4, 2 and 1. And if this unit fails its morale check, then we'll get a point for that. Nope, it's a 6. They're fine with leadership 10 from the Farseer, but 3 points there. The Dart Angels definitely do not want to lose. They can't shoot, or they can't wound. Well, they can. That's unfair. Well, it's just that Wraith Knight can just save. That's the main issue. Right, just a quick correction. Got way ahead of myself there. Only scored 2 points. Secure objective 2 was on top of that building, I've just remembered, and we don't own that one anymore. So just 2 points, but still, we'll take that all day. Okay, Eldar turn 4 now. It's just become a mad scramble for objectives and just picking up what you can. So this Guardian squad has dropped back. They're going to take a sneaky shot and then run away. This Dire Avenger Wave Serpent to move 12. He's going to try and get a shot at whatever he can see there. It might be the Rhino. Who knows?
Dread.
probably at the Dread then. The Banshees and Eldar have emerged from their safe haven, their cover. They're going to try and tackle this Razorback. So Eldar has got a Fleshbane Strength 3 Witchblade, so he's got his work cut out for him, pardon the pun. And this unit in here is now under threat from these Guardians. So this Wave Serpent is here, it's moved 6 round the corner, they've got out through the doorway, and they're now going to take on the Dark Angels Assault Squad. So they're trying to wrestle that objective from them. And then the Wraith Knight, he's going to return fire to the Landspeeder through the doorway. You just see them in through the top window. There we go, there's the angle. And that Landspeeder will be lucky if it survives. So not much going on down at this end of the battle. It's just quiet, not any objectives to really die over. So the Eldar are going to try and open up their shooting phase now. They've got a Dreadnought to try and knock out. And if they can, a building, if they've still got that card, which they do, so they'll probably target that building again. Alright, the Eldar, I think they could be running out of steam, but they're yet to fire the Wraith Knight and a few Bright Lancers, but a few have came off. The Guardians here shot at the bikes. Only 1 wound achieved from the guided artillery, put a wound on the attack bike, so he is still operational. And then we had a Bright Lance here, and the Fire Prism, all fired at the Dreadnought, only managed hull point, so he's still active and he's still ready to go. But the Eldar players decided the Wraith Knight is actually going to shoot a building, see if he can score an objective. So he's targeted this one, and it's D cannons again, so he is guided again, so he's going to have to get some hits. So hitting on 3s again with twin links. So it's a cocked die in the gutter there. Right, 2 hits and on the building. See what happens. Well, that's a decisive double 6. It just keeps on going without Wraith Knight. So the building's going to be brought down, and it's going to be lots of hits on the guys on the top. Strength 6 hits as well. So the building gets destroyed on a double 6, and only 2 die in the blast, but it is a plasma cannon after random allocation, so just get what they want, these Eldar. And it's a pinning test as well, so if we can pin that extra plasma cannon, that's something for them. And they are pinned, so when it rains, it pours. So he is pinned. We've got the scatter lasers through the window at the Landspeeder, and it will jink. We're going to have to do all we can just to stay alive. The Landspeeder jinks around as best as it can and gets the heavy bolter blown off, so it did get some re-rolls on the jink saves. So that luckily isn't the primary weapon. Still got the missiles, but we are snap firing for next turn. Right, the conflict in this building, not that impressive from the Eldar. They're not taking after the Knight's lead. They only kill 1 Dark Angel after an impressive amount of saves, so proud of those assault guys. But they did go to ground because there was a few blade storms in there, so we're not going to be able to retaliate with the flamers. So the Eldar get their way again, but that objective will be contested because they're still there. Right, rounding off this turn then, Eldrad goes in, and so do the Banshees on the Razorback. The Banshees can't actually hurt it, but Eldrad with his Ghost Witch Sword only achieves 1 hull point, so that still stands and it contests this objective. So by this contesting and the survival of that unit of assault marines means that they're not going to get supremacy, the Eldar, so it's pretty frustrating for them. They're doing loads and loads of damage, but the Dark Angels are dying hard and blocking and scoring. And they do pick up 1 point for destroying that building with a double 6 hit from the D weapons as usual, and that's 1 point for demolition, so that's been in the Eldar's hand since turn 1, so that's some sort of relief. fight goes on for the Dark Angels, and it's actually looking pretty good now. The bikes have moved up, and through this corridor here they're going to charge the Vol's Wrath battery. Hopefully we can wipe them out. If not, what we plan to do, or what we'll just do anyway, is this Rhino is going to turbo boost onto this objective, and objective secured strikes again. We're going to take that objective off the Eldar and score that one, and not once but twice, so 2 points there. We can do that regardless of the outcome. We've got objective 4 again. We pulled lots of hold objective cards, so we've got 2 and a 3rd because of the Dreadnought there. And then the Land Speeder, luckily he does not fail the dangerous terrain test and gets all the way up there on a turbo boost and secures that objective. So there's a 4th, and secure objective 5 is all the way over here. Finally this tactical squad has earned their place in securing this objective. So Dark Angels, I think they've just put themselves completely out of reach to the Eldar of winning this game, but we're going to just try and make them pay as much as we can, just because they deserve it. Right, this Razorback opens fire onto his assaulters, I suppose that's what you'd say. 3 wounds, and it's AP 4, so that's a Banshee dead, and then there's 2 saves on Eldrad, so he's got invulnerable 3s, and fails 1, so he's taking a wound, saves the other. Okay, so he's still rocking away there. Right, the rest of the Dark Angel shooting wasn't that impressive, but we didn't expect it to be. It was all about outmaneuvering the Eldar here. We've got the Dreadnought. He fired through the window at the Wave Serpent, forced it to jink. It was a big bluff. He just missed in the end. And this Rhino here killed, and the contents out the hatch, plasma gun, killed 1 Guardian here, so there's only 3 left, so they're forced to take a morale check. And the bikes over here, we snap firing, we snap fire the plasma gun, which is never a good idea, at the Wraith Knight, and as you see, he killed himself, so he's no longer with us. And no snap firing achieved on these Guardians either. They saved the only hit that came their way. Alright, so that is all of the shooting, and we've got this assault here. So the Chaplain, the Warlord Chaplain's going to get in on the battery if he's lucky. A few bits of Overwatch to do for them. The bikes made it through the Overwatch, and nobody dies going through the dangerous terrain. So the Eldar will fight first. They've already piled in, so there's 6 Guardians in there to fight. A total wipeout from the Raven Wing, didn't stand a chance, didn't take a wound in return either. And they consolidate and pass all of the dangerous terrain checks, so they are just fine. So the other morale checks I've got to do at the end of the shooting phase. So there's a morale check for these 2 here, so you got one for the Farseer and the Lonely Guardian, so they're on a 10 because the Farseer is still capable. So they pass, and then you got one for Eldrad because there was only 4 in that unit and they lost the Banshee. So again a 10, and they pass, so the Eldar hold, but what can they do? It seems like it's slipped away from them. Alright, so objective secured is ruling the day, absolutely ruling the day. We've got 5 complete objectives there. All of these secure objective cards. 2, 6, 6, 5, 4. Brilliant stuff from the Dark Eldar? Dark Angels. Sorry lads, I'll not make that mistake again. Alright, so the Eldar feel the end is near, so they've all got out to do the fighting. Maybe too little too late now. All of the Dire Avengers, Guardians, have amassed to try and take on the Raven Wing. Try to do some static powers, try to doom them, but it did not pass. But they did guide the usual suspects, so the Fire Prism guided. Eldrad is broke off from the Banshees, and he's going to attack this Razorback alone, and the Banshee's probably going to go on to try and tackle the Raven Wing. And again, guided Wraith Knight. And the Scorpions are finally making their way into some of the area of battle, but I think the time has passed them by. So down to Eldar shooting again. The Wraith Knight, he's got no real high value targets to shoot at. He's he's just picking up the spares here. But the Eldar, might they get some points here? They're going to need a lot. Okay, the fire prism fires at the Dreadnought through the window. Again, doesn't cause any damage. And Dark Angel start gloating a little bit, and then the D weapons get 2 hits, but they're not the 6 kind where they just ignore all kinds of cover. So you've got 2 solid hits here. I'm going to have to save these on his cover save. I think I owe it to the Dreadnought for him to live on. And he does. Dreadnoughts are really in tune with my dice rolling these days. I have to field an army full of Dreadnoughts. I should just play the Iron Hands, I think, and just have loads of Dreadnoughts. Oh, there on the menu at some point. Okay, we've just wrapped up Eldar shooting phase. The failure to take out the Dreadnought, a few more Bright Lancers fired at him, saved or didn't do anything, is scuppered the plans for this wave servant to swoop in and claim that objective, so the Dreadnought holding strong. And then we've only got one assault marine left in there, and he's going to get assaulted. That's providing he does not fail his leadership test. That's cocked eye. And he does fail, so he's going to run away. 6 inches, so I'll get my hand in there. Move him, so he's just there. Goes back there just about. So I don't think the Guardians are going to want to charge him anymore. But they will claim that objective if they need it. Over here, absolute devastation. The Ravenwing Jink, but of course it's just not enough. All the squad goes down, but the chaplain, luckily he passes all of his wounds off to the Ravenwing members, so he still stands, and he's going to drive away if he's got a chance, but there's going to be some assaults to be made. Right, the Howling Banshees make it through the cover and make it through the Overwatch as well, so they are in, and then the Farseer gets his back up as well and he charges in. So he's issued a challenge which is going to score Eldar a card.
Hungry for glory.
Hungry for glory, and but he's putting his life on the line doing it.
He cares not.
Alright, so we'll get these resolved, see if the chaplain can come through this, given the light of the Emperor manifest. Alright, the chaplain makes it through all of those attacks. It's actually the Farseer who gets a hit. He only has to wound on 2 with the flesh blade, and you can guess what happened. He rolled a 1, so the Banshees don't put a scratch on him either, and the Guardian, he didn't even think he had it in him, so he didn't do it. Alright, the chaplain fights back against the Farseer, and he's got Zealot. So there's 2 hits, 2's to wound. So there's 2 wounds on the Farseer you need to save on an invulnerable force, so 1 at a time, because he'll be insta-killed. So he's dead, and so is the Guardian mate, who doesn't get a save, so that dice didn't really count. So 2 down in the combat. Those Banshees are going to have to take a morale check on a 9, I think, or is it an 8? Right, so Banshees down to leadership 7. They fail the morale test, even with the reroll for the formation, so it's going to be now a straight initiative roll off. So Banshees get it. Oh, well, there's no catching them. Doesn't matter what I roll, and it's a 2 anyway. So the Banshees are going to get away. So 2 dice, and then the chaplain will consolidate. It's a funny little dice. 5 inches. The Banshees drop back, and the chaplain is free to do things with his life. And then Eldrad finally achieves his goal and wrecks the Razorback. So the Eldar are going to call it there. It's just too far gone for them now. I think the total score was 12-5 to the Dark Angels. Really got punished halfway through there, the Dark Angels, but the winner of the day was objective secured. I've never played a game where objective secured mattered so much as that.
Yeah, I couldn't get any points.
No. Got loads of casualties, loads of death and destruction, but just no points. And the Dark Angels died hard. Died, they did. But hey, objective secured.
I usually start off well and fade away. This time I faded away. And
never came back. Well, I was trying to think what would be the unit of the game for the Dark Angels, because there's all those casualties over there, and I think the reality is there wasn't a unit that did anything spectacular or went above and beyond. I think it was just simply the rule for objective secured clearly won the day there. And of course the man of the hour for the Eldar can only go to the Wraith Knight, so the bottle of champagne goes to him.
Well, bravery award goes to the Farseer.
he gets a bravery award, but I mean, but the Wraith Knight, he got two. He took out 2 Imperial Knights, 800 points in 2 turns. So he gets the bottle of champagne. He's the Aviva man of the match.